He was sleeping while I was watching the TV. I'm sure most of you guys remember this very commonly used tense, and this is today's lesson, the past continuous tense, or also known as the past progressive. I know an advanced English learner would change the video, but I would like to inform you that I'm sharing some advanced tips that you may find interesting. Just stay tuned with me and you'll see yourself. Now for the paper and pen, and let's get started. The past continuous tense describes events which happened in the past and took some time. It's different from the past simple tense because it lasted for some time. Like watching the TV. Watching the TV is an action that takes time. We say I was watching the TV, not I watched the TV. Also for the homework, I was doing my homework. Was doing. But opening a door, we say I opened the door, not I was opening. It's not Bank of England Gold Vault door. Now, let's take a look at this chart. I began or started making the video at 5 a.m. Let's say that the time now is 8, for example. So I started making the video at 5 a.m. and finished making the video at 7 a.m. So I lasted 2 hours making the video. So I was making the video between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m.
And that he started making the calls when his wife passed away.
Guys dressed like delivery men finished making the delivery.
The past continuous tense form is all about the verb to be in the past form or the past shape, was or were. You can find above the link of the past simple tense video. So the main form is subject plus the verb to be in the past shape, was or were, plus the main verb adding to it ing. I was watching, he was watching, they were watching, it was watching, and so on. And as usual, we add not to make it negative. I was not watching. And with the question, we just swap or replace the subject with the main verb. So it's I was watching, was I watching. You can find brief explanations on the questions in the link above. And the WH question, we add the WH word or the question word before the yes no question. Was I watching the TV? Was he watching? What was he watching?
What were you doing while all this chatting was going on?
Here is a quick summary for all the forms. I was watching. I was not watching. Was I watching? Wasn't I watching? What was I watching? Now for the real life uses. Something which happened after or before another action.
I was making the bed when he got home.
Did you notice she did not say I made the bed when he got home? She said I was making the bed, because she means that she was already making the bed or he got home. But if she said I made the bed when he got home, it meant that she was not making the bed, but after he got home, she started making the bed. Watch this also to get the difference.
Seems when he got home that night, he fell down the stairs of his lodgings.
Another use for the past continuous tense is something that happened after or before a specific time.
He says that they were watching TV all night.
She meant that he spent the whole night watching the TV. We can also use the past continuous tense to talk about something that was continuing in the past.
And he looked terrible, said he was aching all over.
These pictures.
Well, everyone was taking pictures.
Who took? Everyone was taking pictures. She wanted to tell him that it was a continuing action. It's not only them who took pictures. And we use it for something that happened again and again.
And they were always fighting about me.
But garbage delivery trucks, they're always blocking access to our parking lot.
If you noticed, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It might be a good thing. Like fighting for her. Another commonly used for the past continuous tense, verbs that express changing, growing.
I was improving.
Ryan's father was never going to change. I didn't want to divorce him while Ryan was growing up, so I stayed.
If you notice in the previous clip, we can use the word or the term never to express something that the thing was not happening, with a few polite expressions.
So I was wondering about that possible vacancy you mentioned. Yes?
So I was wondering if kids who are hopped up on drugs.
We can use the past simple and past continuous to talk about wishes in the present.
I just wish we weren't going through this with your parents visiting.
I wish we were seeing each other under different circumstances, but I'm glad you're here.
This is an advanced step you can skip if you'd like. As we already know, stative verbs do not appear in the gerund form, or it doesn't take an ing like feel, need, want, believe. But do you know we can do so? But it depends on the context. Please watch these clips.
I wanted to see how you're feeling.
Me?
I need an expert on tropicals. I was thinking maybe that doctor from Haiti could help.
I really was believing what you said.
For some, it's incorrect in standard American English with all registers like formal, informal, regional, and so on. You can tell it to speaker A, will accept it, but speaker B would consider it wrong, disfluent, he will not accept it. The tense can be used to make polite inquiries about the other's plans by using the future progressive. The speaker shows that he doesn't want to influence the listener's intention. Will you be staying at home today? It is very polite, the utmost politeness. Are you going to stay at home today? Pressing for a decision. This usage is possible with verbs that do not usually take the gerund form, like the stative verbs. Will you be wanting to resume watching my videos? Too polite, huh? It's very often to describe the background or the view of a story, written or described in the past continuous tense.
Yeah, let me ask you, do you remember what it looked like right before a big storm? You know, the sky was blue, the sun was shining, but way off in the horizon, clouds were forming.
Another main usage of the past continuous tense, unfinished action was interrupted by another action.
And it was working when Big Ed cleaned it this morning.
Oh, yeah, I'm wondering about that. You said it was working when you moved in.
Said he was sleeping when the nanny put the kid to bed.
He was asleep when I arrived.
Here is another advanced tip about the same, but let's first take a look at the difference between a phrase, a clause, a sentence. The phrase is words that can be grouped together but without a subject, or a verb. It can be very short or very long, like after dinner. This is a phrase. Waiting for the rain to stop. Obviously, both of them can be a full sentence, but they can be part of a clause. And what is a clause? It's a group of words. It's a group of words that has half of the meaning, but are often not very complete sentence. To make it very simple, a phrase is meaningless in both grammatically and in real life. But a clause is meaningful grammatically but meaningless in real life. While I was watching the TV, this is a clause, but it's not completed. It needs another clause. As for the sentences, it has the complete meaning, or it's a complete independent clause which has phrases and other clauses, regardless how many of each. Now for the most important part, while versus when. Some sentences begins with the word when, like when she called me, when I got home. Other sentences begins with while I was sleeping, while she was watching the TV. When you talk about things happen in the past, when is very often followed by a past simple, whereas while also very often followed by the past continuous tense. While I was watching. And whatever comes first is the most important one. We also use the past continuous tense for change of mind.
I was gonna invite you guys all to a rave to hang out, but now I don't want to hang out with you anymore.
And that's it.
So that's the rule, and that's the end of that.
That's the rule.
Yep.
No more uses. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. I really hope it was really useful for you, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.